Welcome to the Interviews Podcast.
Il cross, prima attenzione, Bobo anticipato, palla vagante, mette giù, recoba, il tiro,
Welcome, Interisti, to episode 205 of the Interviews Podcast. We are here for the post-match reaction of, we're into the part of the season where, these league games don't mean much. But Lazio Inter finished 3-0 to the visitors. Goals from Lautaro Martinez in the 6th minute. Petar Sučić with a banger in the 39th, and Henrik Mkhitaryan in the 76th minute. As always, I'm one half your co-hosting duo, Alessandro Rafa, joined here by Gianni Paterno. Gianni, what sort of significance do we put on these games at this point? It's the upcoming opponent for the Coppa Italia. It's the same venue, same team. Does that factor into it? Like, what's the vibe that you had going into this game?
You honestly cut out that second half. So I knew that I heard what sort of significance, and that was pretty much it.
With, competing against a team that we're going to be facing in the Coppa Italia final, same arena,
I think when you really look at it, I feel like this isn't a good barometer, right? I feel like they had nothing to play for. We had nothing to play for. But we are the superior team in terms of quality. So I think that we were going to be able to assert our dominance on them. I think, listen, I want to give Sarri a little bit of credit in the sense that I don't think he was going to show his full cards for what he wants to do in the final in this match. We did see pieces of it. I'm not saying he's going to change his entire tactics and his entire plan for the match, but I think that he kind of knew that this was a formality. It was really almost like a training session leading up to the Coppa Italia final, I think. But we just, we're having fun. And we were just going to go out there, have fun, really play our game. And I think we were going to be able to just handle them comfortably, no matter what, really. I don't think it was going to make a difference if it's the Coppa Italia final or this match. But, yeah, we did. Listen, I loved what I saw from our team. And I loved it was almost like the passing of the torch from certain players onto some of these guys that we wanted to see have a bigger impact and be able to start. So I think that this was kind of a little bit of a preview of what Key was probably going to want to do next season in some ways with some of these guys. So I'm a fan, and I think that it was a good confidence builder for some of these guys to be able to go into this Coppa Italia match and hopefully help us get that domestic double.
I was a big fan of the attitude, because it's very easy to come into a game like this and to just take your foot off the gas, like not really, play it like it's a training ground session. Which, if they went with that, it's not going to make a huge difference. But you just, it's like Lautaro said, you want to finish out the season in the most professional manner possible. You still have, some sort of objective here that you're going for. And against Lazio, like, why give them any sort of confidence? It's like you're surprised by the lineup a little bit with Lautaro and Thuram partnering each other. Bastoni getting a start in there. Deck starting. I mean, Barella starting. I mean, you went out there and you put your a good amount of players out there, and they delivered on the attitude. They delivered on the score line for sure, and the performance for sure. So why don't we start with something that you brought up, and I also tweeted it after the game. The big takeaway that I had from this game is that two players really established themselves as players that need to have important roles. And it's not just because of this one game, but this was the glimpse into them sort of taking the reins. And specifically, it's Pep Martinez and Petar Sučić. We'll start with Pep. He has the qualities that this Inter side, the principles that this Kivu side wants to play. He has the qualities to be the perfect goalkeeper. Is he quick off his line to cover the high press? Yes. He has the courage to do it. He has the ability. He's mobile. He can do so. The passing there's no hesitation on him. You're making the cut across the middle, like you see in basketball. If you're watching the playoffs, he'll hit you in stride. He's a safe passer, but he's also, when he does decide to open it up, he can open it up. And then as a shot stopper, he's, he's at the very least, he's on par with some of the other clubs that we're going to be, the other goalkeepers at the other clubs that we're going to be competing against. So I thought today was like just another encouraging step in the direction towards making him our number one for next season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He is someone that I know that we've been championing for on this pod, and that we are big fans of. I've been a fan of his since he was at Genoa and he made his Serie A debut there. Like, he has a lot of just physical attributes that are so imposing. His height is good. He makes himself big in the net. Like you said, his ability to play the ball with his feet, his passing, his range too, like the way he's able to pick people out. It really is impressive. I'm not gonna go out again. I mean, I've said this before. He is not with the ball at his feet at the level of Onana, but he's not far either. So like the kid is, and I say kid, but it's because he's been the backup and he's 26, gonna be 27.
27
He is
now.
going into he's 27 now. Okay, he's going into the prime years. Like from 27 to 33 is typically a goalkeeper's prime. So it'll be exciting to see. If he continues to develop. I feel like, and we've said it here as well, anything that we spend on a goalkeeper is going to be a wasted money. Whether it's Vicario, whether it's Hornacek, whether it's whoever else that we may have been rumored to be interested in, we have other needs in this squad, and I think Pep is making it a lot easier for, I hope at least, management to recognize, like, okay, we could take these funds and use them elsewhere. He is the guy that we should go with next year. Like, give him a full season as the starter, bare minimum, and let's see what we got. This team, no matter what you do, and if you fill in other needs, is going to be good enough to win the title next year, and with him as a goalkeeper. Like, he's not going to be worse than what we saw from Sommer. So I'm thrilled with his just growth in his game, and I hope that he does, end up taking up the reins as the number one keeper for next season.
It's the one time where a lack of budget actually might work in our favor as far as the decision at a position group. Like, save the money there and move on. And there are rumors of bringing back Filip Stankovic. I think that is also
That'd be so
coming
nice.
out. Yeah, with there's reports that also if they keep Pep, they are going to want an experienced number 2 for next season. So the ideal way for me for it to shake out would be Stankovic and Martinez, but we'll see what they do. Hopefully they're not going to invest too much. And also important to note, Joseph was 45 out of 45 on passing. So perfect game from him. The other, I'll let you wax your poetic about this guy, because this is your guy, and I'll let you do the job here.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was everywhere. And honestly, to have him play as the regista, I thought was a brave choice by Kivu. I'm going to give him a lot of credit with that, to instill this kid to go up against essentially another regista who I think is one of the best in the league in Rovella. And he was insane. 96% pass completion. The goal that he scored with his weak foot, by the way, curling it into the top corner from the outside of the box, absolutely incredible. And people were not being paid. Like, the fact that they were saying that this guy is not good enough for Inter, we're not watching what he was doing in the brief cameos, in the brief starts, and clearly had never seen him play Zagreb, because this guy is, you don't call someone the best midfielding prospect to come out of Croatia or the Balkans, however they phrased it, in the last 25 years by just hyping a guy up who wasn't doing anything. He was doing these kinds of things at Zagreb. He was playing at the left. He was playing more of an attacking minded central midfielder, not so much deeper like he was yesterday. and he was playing on the right. He could be slotted in anywhere. Yes, he may be more comfortable on the right, but he can truly play anywhere in the midfield three. And what we saw yesterday, I mean, this kid is going to be absolutely massive for us. I love Petar Sučić. I cannot say enough good things about him. You know, when you see 62 for 63 in your own half, 3 for 3 on long balls, I mean, what did he do wrong? What did he do wrong in passing? Pretty much nothing. You know, you see his progressive carries and his total progression. The guy was all over the place. He carried a lot. He did lose possession a few times. I'm not going to sit and say it was perfect, but it was a damn good goal. And on the goal he scored, 0.07 xG. I mean, bro, can we just give this guy a little bit of credit and finally get off of the "oh, he's not good enough for Inter" nonsense? Like, can we finally recognize it?
The call to put him out Regista, especially with Barella in the midfield three, and him being the guy that's, if it's not Hakan, it's not Zielinski, it's usually Barella back there. I thought it was a very, very positive call from Kivu because he wants to see what he can do. After the game, Kivu says, this is a player that also has a lot of experience playing in it too. He's very comfortable building up from deep. And you saw what his qualities are as a regista. He makes the right decision. He keeps the ball moving. The other thing that is more similar to Zielinski as a regista than Hakan as a regista is that part of the progression is he will take the ball up the pitch with the ball at his feet. He likes to just carry the ball into space. If you give him the space, he's going to carry the ball into it. He'll recycle possession and keep the ball moving, but he also has no hesitation on taking space if you give it to him, which I think is very, very positive. The goal, obviously, left foot. It feels like he only scores beautiful goals, which keeps in line with with Hakan and Zielinski as well. I think the only at the end of the season, I'm gonna make a list of like what does each player need to improve upon, and I think the thing for Sučić that comes to mind is there was a sequence in the second half where he got shrugged off the ball. The recurring tackle that, the track back tackle that he ended up trying to make was not, that also got shrugged off. I think from a defensive standpoint, his frame has enough where you expect him to grow into it a little bit. If we're being honest with it, he's 22 years old. Like he's not a kid, but is there potential for some additional growth as far as the physical is concerned? Absolutely. Absolutely there's potential for him to grow, and he's going to need to, because in Serie A, that physicality in the midfield can be a real weapon. So really, really happy with both Petar and Pep and what they showed today. The other player that's getting a lot of love on Twitter, Andy Juve. He gets to start out right wing back. You got Nima saying, "Is this the half that ends up losing Dumfries' job?" I wouldn't necessarily go that far with what we saw, but it was more of the qualities that I think have been endearing Interisti to what Juve can bring, which is zero hesitation with the ball at his feet, taking his man on. It's something proactive. It's something different. It's something that is very valuable when it comes to the transition side of the game. Andy Juve says he wants to stay at Inter. Your thoughts, your stance on whether or not that's the right move for this club?
Yeah, I think that he did have a good performance overall. Yeah, I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't go as far as what Nima said, saying that this might be the game where he takes the job from Dumfries, but he is a fast dribbler, a quick to move with it. He doesn't really hesitate, like you said. And what I saw yesterday, I thought he made some good runs on the right side. I thought he improved a bit with his crossing. I mean, there were some things that we would have liked to have seen a little bit better. But again, once he got down on that right side, I think he had like maybe 3 crosses, or I don't know if they're gonna count them as crosses, but whatever. They were 3 balls that were played into the middle of the box that were just either too low or too direct to the keeper. Um, in Mota there, but I see some promise. I think that he would be a good guy to have as a rotational player for sure. I do think that, based on what he's able to do, playing in the midfield, playing as a wingback, there's value there for sure. And if it's another thing that we don't have to worry, like really realistically, the only thing that we really need to be thinking about is like if we sell Dumfries, are we able to get a Palestra type player in? Someone who could actually be the number one, and then Diouf could slot in when needed and stuff like that. And who knows,
So
maybe
you'd
even
be
hold on to
okay with
position
a
for 3-4
Palestra
weeks.
Juve duo outright wing back?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like if I'm thinking about like from a financial standpoint, right? Like we're not gonna have all this money to spend and get multiple things. Like I was talking about it yesterday with actually with Nima and our friend Tony. Um, I think we need to be realistic here. People want Paz, people want Palestra, people want all these things. That would mean that certain players that you and I like people claim to love and don't want to let go of would have to go. You're not going to be able to move within the market the way that you want without sacrifices having to be made. So it's like, if you're okay with that, cool. Then yeah, you are able to get the Pazes and the Palestras and stuff like that. Well, potentially. Again, I think Atalanta is going to be a nightmare to deal with. I would be okay with that. If that means, you have Di Marco Augusto on the left, and then you're bringing back a Stankovic and in the midfield, like there's things that would make me feel good going into next season if certain players were brought in. But if you want all the things under the sun that you claim to want, fans, like you would be losing guys that you also really care about. So.
Juve also continues to say that his best position is in midfield. He says he's going to talk to Kivu. I don't think he has the qualities to be in a Serie A midfield for a title-winning side.
Not starting.
Not starting. I mean, from a in possession, phase, I don't necessarily think he has like the ball recycling skills, the ability to play it from different areas of the pitch in transition. Yeah, but we're not that kind of side. We're going to be a more ball dominant side, and I just don't think he has it. So the future for him at Inter is at right wing back, and having space out there and being able to take on players. So let's see what that ends up looking like. Okay, Lautaro gets on the score sheet early in the game, 6 minutes in. Thuram does the little header back. He volleys it in. Lautaro now up to 23 goal contributions. The top 3 in Serie A are Di Marco, 23, Lautaro, 23, Thuram, 18. I don't know that we've seen that kind of of dominance at the top from one team, but nevertheless, he's there on 17 goals. Do you think he's going to get to 20 for the season with a couple matches?
Hello. That whole time I was talking, I was also on mute. This is not going great. Not going great for us here, fam. What I was saying was apparently, yeah, we lost Alessandro there for a little bit. We had the opportunity to he was going into something with Lautaro. We'll see what he was gonna say. Yeah, I muted myself because my dog here was being a little loud. So that's on me. That's on me. Filler time right now. Now that we don't have it, but yeah, on the goal with Lautaro. Let's talk about like that. The ball was thrown in by Bisek. What a good positional awareness from Mark. There he is. Hey, welcome back, man.
Sorry, hotel Wi-Fi.
Nah, you're fine. I was actually on mute when I tried to keep talking, so there's gonna be a lot of dead space that I gotta figure out how to get rid of. But yeah, what I was just going on about the throw in from Bisek, the good positional awareness from Thuram to know that Lauti's back there. and then to flick it on and for Lautaro to finish it like a real striker's finish on the volley there. He is so good first time when he shoots. I think that when he doesn't have time to think or, you know, out dribble himself into a dangerous position sometimes, that's when he's most lethal. And it was yeah, just a great goal and a great way to just kind of like shake it off in the first, 6 minutes there.
Yeah. I would love to see him get to 20 because mostly almost for the league. Like to not have a 20 to end the league and not have anybody on 20 goals. It's kind of like I don't know. I guess maybe fodder for the people who talk shit about the league. And Lauti is pretty much the only one that can try to do it. So it would be nice for him to rack in a couple goals here in the upcoming matches. Maybe he'll do it against Bologna, and that could be our thing that we get we get over Bologna. We have to have one of those every season. Um, all right. Anybody else from this game that you want to touch on? I mean, I think the only other thing for me is like Acerbi and Mkhitaryan have showed why that should come to an end. I thought Acerbi, struggled in the first half at times. I thought
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan killed a lot of offensive um moves that we were working through. And I think like, there's people arguing like why are these guys getting minutes? I think it's clear that Kivu is sort of letting them go off into the sunset and getting their last sort of minutes with the club here as the season winds down. Whether or not you agree with that, realistically, if your thought is like give the minutes to the young kids and see what you have, it's like okay, but also the chances that any of them are going to actually be involved next season, like Bosconi's not going to be a part of the team next season. Berenbrook,
Yeah.
Kamate, like it realistically for a team that is coming off of a title win wants to go ahead and keep the dominance going, those players are not going to be part of it. So I understand the thinking if Kivu was like, let me just give these guys a minute to close out the season. What do you think about that? And also with regards to Mkhitaryan, and Fabrizio says it's either going to be a retirement or a renewal for another season, which is crazy, but whatever.
This is just another one of the opportunities that I hope that he is wrong about. I would like him just to retire. I don't want to carry on with him. I don't see him being of any benefit, to be quite honest. He is a detriment. And like people are like, oh, like someone commented, like, oh, he scored a nice goal yesterday. Like, no, he didn't. He took a poor, heavy touch, and it just worked out for him that he was able to beat the defender to the ball and then roof it into the net. Like, and honestly, if he was any further back, that goes over the crossbar. So like, why are we talking about him like he is this like pillar of the Inter midfield? He isn't. He isn't. Like, thank you for your service. Go off and retire. Maybe get into coaching. Start in the Armenian league. Whatever. Like, you need to just leave. I want other people to come in, um, and get fresh faces, fresh blood. Like, I don't know if I want to bring this up now or if I would rather us be able to talk about it, in the off season, because there is something that I do. You know what? We'll talk about it in the off season. Remind me to tell you about it because I don't want to like forget this. Actually, I'll write it down. But I don't see. You can't have Mkhitaryan be on your team if you want to be competitive in Europe. You can't. Like, if that's going to be a player who has key minutes and you want to compete for the biggest trophies, you need other people. Like when you look at PSG when they have Vitinha, Joao Neves, you know, I'm forgetting the third guy now.
Warren Zaire Emery,
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, I was about to
Fabian
butcher his name.
Ruiz.
Yeah, like when that's like your rotation, that's a much better rotation than having Mkhitaryan be the fourth guy for you, or and rotating in. Like, it's he cannot be a key player. I'm sorry, guys. Acerbi cannot be a key player if you want to win the Champions League. And same with Jan Sommer this year. Like he took a huge regression this season, and it's time for him to go as well. Like, I want guys who can come in and really elevate the squad. This team is always going to be, at least in this cycle, good enough to compete for the Serie A, good enough to compete for the Coppa Italia, Supercoppa, whatever. We're going to be able to dominate within Italy, no doubt. But if we want to go to that next level, which I think having gotten so close twice in the last 4 seasons, we as fans, we're like, we would want it. We do want it. Like, so it's like, if you want to be there, you need to get some of these old guys out. And what's another year going to do? You're literally just, it's a stopgap. It doesn't really
It's also not
change.
It's regressing. It's definitely
It
going to
is, because he's
regress.
only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, you see the way Lautaro in the post-match, he's talking about Mkhitaryan and, like, his dad asks him, "How are things in the locker room?" And he always says the first person he talks about is Mkhitaryan, what a professional, the way that he trains, all that stuff, and, like, that's good. Like, you have a good example for the young guys and whatever it is, but the way that it's manifested is that all that good work and training, how intelligent of a player he might be, how good, of an example he might be, it's manifested into the last few coaches that we've had have given him minutes that, are not effective minutes. They're not helping, and it's
100%.
it's like, you do understand, like, if someone is in training and they're showing, like, that they deserve to be getting minutes as a coach, like, maybe you go with like, yeah, Mickey's working his ass off. I see what he does in training. He's going to be a big help. He's such a veteran, all this good stuff. But when it comes down to competitive 90s on the pitch, he fails to live up to whatever it was that he showed in training. So the fear for Interisti is, like, if he continues to be on the team, somehow, some way, he's going to continue to get minutes that are going to hurt Inter. So why even mess around? Kolarov is on the coaching staff. Palombo's on the coaching staff. If Mkhitaryan is the one that can lead by example, whatever, find a way to have him on the staff. If that's, like, if it's such an important presence to have on the team, whatever it is, as long as it's not a scenario where you can still put him out there and get minutes. At the end of the season, I also want to look at the minutes breakdown and, like,
Ooh.
subtract and add. Like, if you gave however many minutes Mkhitaryan had to Sučić, like, are we looking at 800 minutes of Sučić ball next year? What difference is that going to make on the team? Like, you have to start thinking about these things, because if Mickey's on the team, he gets the minutes. It just, that's how it goes. Anything to take away from Mosconi's 11 minutes? He had the one breakaway. The shot was not what it needed to be, but outside of that, it's not, like, I don't know. He looks like a 19-year-old kid. I know, I know we love to say the prospects and whatever, but he looked like a kid out there.
Yeah. Nothing to take away, but I also think nothing that's, like, going to be looked at as, like, a detriment or something. Like, it's a kid making his senior debut. Of course, there's going to be nerves and stuff, and you're doing it at a stadium like the Olimpico. I think it's just expected. So I'm not going to dwell on that too much.
I thought Bondi came in and did some positive things. Although, if we're again thinking in terms of, like, okay, what do you need to see as an improvement next season? The difference, the drop off from Thuram and Lautaro as part of, like, leading the press to Bondi, like, the way he jogs to an opponent versus
It
the little bit of,
bothers me.
it's
It
like,
bothers me.
come on, man, you got to know.
Yeah.
Like, we are, it's not that you have to press every single time, the center back has the ball, but you do need to, like, put pressure. There needs to be a higher degree of pressure on the ball carrier than what you give. The jogging is not, it's a bad look. It's a bad look.
And I don't know if I lost Alessandro again, but this is where I'm struggling with Bondi and Thuram. Like, I was at the mindset where it's like, do you sell Thuram this offseason? Are you able to move on from from Thuram and maybe bring in somebody else who's ready. Is Bony or Pio ready to step in and become that guy? I don't know. It's kind of tough to get into with that, because when you think about what Thuram does, the attitude he has, I do think that he is a good presence in the locker room. I think that he is a good obviously he has great rapport with Lauti. He seems passionate about this club and passionate about, being a part of it, and Kivu as well. If you move on from him, are you able to replace him properly? Is the right person going to come in and be able to have an impact? Who knows? Um, but that's why I'm at the point where it's like there's things I see with Boni that I like, and then when I see what he isn't doing and I get frustrated, I'm like, I don't think he's ready to step in and be the starting striker or the third choice striker. So it's like maybe you do keep Turam for a little bit longer and you try to figure out, if your goal is to bring in a Nico Paz, which it seems like that is like the primary target and the biggest dream for this management group. The only way that happens is if a guy like Bastoni is sacrificed. Like, I think we need to recognize that. Like, that's the only way that happens. And especially if we do want to hang on to Turan, which with the way things are going and how some of these guys are, like, will it be too much for Pio to step in and be the second guy? Maybe. Not that I've seen a regression, but I've seen like a stalling in his game this last few weeks. Like, there's again, he's a young 20-year-old player. Like, it's going to take time to develop. So there's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered this offseason, especially like with who is going to be continuing with this project. And I'm genuinely curious what the actual game plan is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you would hope, but, like, I don't know, the inconsistency from Bonny in terms of the effort is really what hurts you, because he also has
Yeah.
these moments of brilliance where you see it all. You see the exact reason why, you spend the money on this player and what gets you excited, but, then at times it drops off. All right, Johnny, my hotel Wi-Fi, it's scaring me a little bit. So how about we get to
Let's do the speak
the
pipe
speak pipe and the
questions and get out of
questions?
here.
All right.
All right. This
So
is from
you got it?
Sartak. Yeah, I got it up.
Hi Interviews podcast. Great game today. I mean, Sučić is something special. I think he will really develop. And then I thought Diouf was great today. He and Luis Enrique being backups, Luis on the left, Diouf on the right, kind of makes me assured that even without Carlos, our wing backs would be a good position. I think if we just get a good wing back for the starting side, we can really have a great position core for years to come there. I also think that Joseph played well today. I think that I'm really excited to see him and Philip battle it out for the starting position next year. I think that it was good to see Bonnie get an assist. Hopefully that can start to get him to turn things around. And also, Johnny, we have to admit, Miki's goal was pretty nice. I'm going to say, I think this game really showed like how our backups are to a level that we kind of haven't had in the last few years. I think if we just get, the wingback signing sorted and then do what we are planning to do with the defense and such, and maybe try to go for someone else after that, I think everything else will kind of work out itself. Thank you and Forza.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot that he said. Not so much the Mickey goal being nice. Like, I
You
think
can't
Boney
you
did like
can't
a really
re-sign a player off of off of
one
that. You just can't.
off a goal. Yeah, like that
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. To me, if Boney could have easily taken the shot, I think if he wanted to.
Yeah, he got caught up in his
Yeah.
own mind a little bit.
Yeah, so it's like, again, if you go look at that, it's a heavy touch. It really is a heavy touch that gets away from him, and he just does a good job recovering it and just happens to put it in. Like, I don't know. And it's not even because I dislike him. That touch is something I would do in Sunday League. Like, I don't know. To me, it's not worth keeping. I agree on obviously Sučić and Diouf. And if we are able to shore up that right wing back side, yeah, that it'll be pretty positive going forward for sure.
Yeah, I also if the goalkeepers that are here next year are Pep and Stankovic, it's not going to be a competition. Whether that's the
Yep.
right
Oh yeah, I
move,
was gonna say that too.
yeah. It just they're like after what Pep has had to
There's no
go
way he
through.
stays to
No,
compete with Philip Stankovic. Like
no.
as much as I like Philip, I do, and I think that he's someone I want to bring back because of the fanboy in me, but I also don't want him to just sit as the backup. Like I would
He
rather
would be
buy
the
him
cup
back.
keeper, you know?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
mean, I'd
enough?
be okay. Is that enough? Exactly. Is that enough for him? Like I don't know. He's a player I am excited about. I think you watch him at Venezia, which has probably been like one of only maybe two teams I've really been watching, them and Palermo at Serie B. Um, the reflex saves that he makes and the way that he actually communicates with his back line, it's something I do like, but I don't think that one, he deserves to be, not that he doesn't deserve to be a backup, but I don't think that he should be demoted essentially to a backup just because he's at Inter.
Right.
Like I'd be okay buying him back, like activating that buyback clause. We get 50% off because of the resell and then using it to, either loan him back to Venezia so he can still start in the Serie A or and actually, maybe that is the way to go. Maybe you do, you bring Sommer back as the backup. Maybe I don't know. Like, what other thing are you gonna do? Really? Like, I really don't know. But like, do you want him to just be the cup keeper? I don't know.
Yeah, that is on one hand, you can say it'll stall his development. On the other, you can say that Joseph Martinez has been that, and he's
That's fair.
still playing at a high level. With goalkeepers, the development is a little bit different. But I don't know, like if Joseph Martinez had played a whole season like he probably should have, would he be an even better product? Probably, yeah, probably. So it's an interesting.
I just feel bad as a 24-year-old goalkeeper that he would go from starting, and then now he's the backup at but maybe he wants that. Maybe, his father played there, it would probably would be cool to be on the senior team with your brother. So maybe that is the goal.
As long as it's not Sommer as part of the
Okay.
equation, I think I'm
I mean,
okay.
I'm fine with that too. Obviously, like I would rather not keep him, but the
Yeah.
Inter fan in me wants him to be the backup. Philippe, that is. The Philippe fan is like, dang, I don't really
Right.
want him to just be a backup, but like,
Yeah. Pulling off stud saves in Serie A next year with Venezia would be pretty cool, while also being owned by Inter. I think that would be a nice,
yeah,
a nice compromise.
We'll just take Montipo as the backup.
Montipo, I mean, they're talking Provedel, which there's been a fall off, but
As the
backup.
Okay. If it's just a 1 year, sure.
For the cup keeper, like he's a pretty. He's a veteran that I don't think has had as severe a drop off as Sommer. Also, physically hit whatever drop off, it's not close to what you see with Sommer. So I think you prefer that. Intertwined, love the attitude and approach to the game today. Yeah, it was definitely like they could have phoned it in, and it actually made the game enjoyable. And I was worried that I was gonna absolutely suck.
Same.
Jerk back jerk with Martinez starting today in front of net. Do you think he'll be starting on Wednesday? Yeah, he's definitely getting the Coppa Italia final.
We're not risking the trophy with Sommer.
No. Peter Jordan, the players played with freedom today. Like a weight was lifted. Great to see. They deserve it. Yeah, that's true. Hopefully they carry us over to the final. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, they were just having fun. Like they were like, we're champions. We could just have fun and play. Like.
They scored nice goals. I mean, they were
good.
They
did. The build up to Sučić's goal was beautiful. Always nice to smash Lazio.
Nick Diani, I haven't talked to Nick yet. Not sure if you guys are planning to do it now or after the season ends, but I'd love to see an Inter player keep or sell for next season. We absolutely are doing that.
Yep, we're doing that. I think we're actually doing that with Sharma. So
that'll be a must
said he
listen.
Wanted to do that. So
Uncle George, can we talk about how Juve has settled with the team so well? Not saying he's a perfect player, but he definitely brings a different profile to the team, and I think he should stay and develop under Kivu's tenure. That is the thing with Juve. He brings a different characteristic from everybody else.
Dang, man. Just when I thought we were gonna wrap it up with Alessandro. Yeah, Uncle George. I agree, man. He's definitely exceeded my expectations. He's done better than I originally had thought. And to see the way that he has elevated his game over the time, like I thought it was wasted money for sure. Definitely better, the way that he's been able to end things. But we've lost Alessandro. This has been a tough episode. I'll take the blame for this one. Alessandro wanted to record it yesterday. I was unable to. I wanted to do it today. Oh, he's back. I was literally about to just sign us off and give you the break. No, you're full. I was just taking the blame for it because we could have done it yesterday. I asked to do it today. So, yeah.
I've been having Wi-Fi problems recently, folks. I apologize.
Everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go. The Wi-Fi
doesn't matter where I
follows
am.
you.
It really does. It really does. All right. Should we sign it out?
I was gonna I'm glad because I did not want to do it, but you can.
In the words of the great Roberto Scarpini, forza ragazzi, forza ragazzi, forza ragazzi.